Srimad Bhagavatam 538. You know, I think I would need my phone because I need to monitor the screen. Sometimes the camera just goes off and I don't even know. Last week it happened, I think for about good 18 minutes. It was without camera, just the screen on the side and the black nonsense screen was there. Atmanah eva anusavanam anjasa avyatirekena bodhuyamana ashesha purusha artha swarupasya kintu natha ashishah आशासानानां एतत् अभिसम्राधन मात्रं भवितुम् अर्हति। आत्मन एवानुसवनम् अंजसा व्यतिरेकेण बभूयमाना शेष पुरुषार्थ स्वरूप यकिंतु नाथाशीष आशासानानाम् एतद् अभिसम्राधनमात्रम् भवितुमर्हति। Atmanah, self-sufficiently, eva, certainly, anusavanam, at every moment, anjasa, directly, avyatirekena, without stopping, bodhuyamana, increasing, ashesha, unlimitedly, purusha artha, the goals of life, swarupasya, your actual identity, kintu, but, natha, O Lord, ashishah, benedictions from material enjoyment, ashasananam, of us who are always desiring, etat, this, abhisamradhana, for getting your mercy, matram, only, bhavitum, bhavitumarhati, can be. Have we even gone live? Yeah. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: all of life's goals and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently, unceasingly and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. Indeed, your unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself. As far as we are concerned, O Lord, we are always after material enjoyment. You do not need all these sacrificial arrangements, but they are meant for us so that we may be benedicted by your Lordship. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results and they are not actually needed by you. Please repeat. All of life's goals and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently, unceasingly and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. Indeed, your unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself. As far as we are concerned, O Lord, we are always after material enjoyment. You do not need all these sacrificial arrangements, but they are meant for us so that we may be benedicted by your Lordship. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results, and they are not actually needed by you. Purport. Being self-sufficient, the Supreme Lord does not need huge sacrifices. Fruitive activity for a more opulent life is for those who desire such material opulence for their interest. Yajnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Bhagavad Gita 3.9. If we do not act to satisfy the Supreme Lord, we engage in Maya's activities. We may construct a gorgeous temple and spend thousands of dollars, but such a temple is not required by the Lord. The Lord has many millions of temples for his residence, and he does not need our attempt. He does not require opulent activity at all. Such engagement is meant for our benefit. If we engage our money in constructing a gorgeous temple, we are freed from the reactions of our endeavors. This is for our benefit. In addition, if we attempt to do something nice for the Supreme Lord, he is pleased with us and gives us his benediction. In conclusion, the gorgeous arrangements are not for the Lord's sake, but for our own. If we somehow or other receive blessings and benedictions from the Lord, our consciousness can be purified and we can become eligible to return home back to Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the King Nabhi and the priests of King Nabhi are actually saying all of this. So King Nabhi, he was performing this sacrifice of what is it called? Pravargya sacrifice to get a son. So these are all usually karmakanda activities, but as we know, as we've seen in few verses before, the pure devotees, when they perform similar activities, seemingly material activities, they are all meant for the service of the Lord. There is a verse from Narada Pancharatra which says, Laukiki Vaidiki Vapi Ya Kriya Kriyate Mune Hari Sevanukulaiva Sakarya Bhakti Michhata. I don't know where is it quoted in our books. I think it is, yeah. Samrita Sindhu is quoted from the Pancharatra. A devotee may act as an ordinary human being or as a strict follower of Vedic injunctions. In either case, everything he does is favorable for the advancement of devotional service because he is in Krishna consciousness. So the external activities. So sometimes laukiki means what? Loka. Loka means this loka, this material world. Laukiki means bhautiki, bhautik. Like, why it is called bhautik? Bhokta. Bhoktaram. Krishna is the enjoyer, but we think we are the bhokta. So when we think like that, that is material activity. So bhautik means material. And laukiki is derived from loka in this material world. So laukiki, vaidiki. Vaidiki means Vedic activities, sacrificial injunctions or Vedic injunctions. So whether one is following ordinary rules of social life in the material world or um, Vedic injunctions, if he is a devotee, he is doing always for Krishna. Because the performer, he is in Krishna consciousness, Hari Sevanukulaiva, Anukulyasya Sankalpa. So whatever is acceptable for Krishna's service, favorable for Krishna's service, the devotee will do that. So for example, when Maharaj Man Singh was commissioned by Rupa Goswami to build a Radha Govind Dev temple in Vrindavan, back then, to construct a temple would have different rules, the kind of permissions needed from the government and all different. Now here in Singapore, we have different rules. Every country have different rules. So it may not be the same way as the Vedic times where everything it's more seemingly more mundane. Going to some government office, getting some papers signed and going to the lawyer, going to some businessman or here and that. So many seemingly mundane things. But actually, because it is Harisevanukulaiva, it is Bhakti Michhata, Sakarya. That duty, they're all devotional service. So this is where a devotee appears similar to a materialist. He appears similar to a materialist. He may be doing the same things, taking public transport like anybody else, or going to the same office as everybody else, standing in the same queue as everybody else, similarly doing the same things in different dress. So they may think, oh, why some monk is coming here and doing what? In a mall or some office building. So in this way, they may sometimes even belittle the devotees, saying that, oh, these are all materialists. But actually, the devotees do only for the satisfaction of Krishna. Similarly, there was a description of Rajasuya sacrifice by Yudhishthir Maharaj. We have mentioned this in one of our previous classes. If you see, I think 1072, 1 to 5, but let's go to 5. See, see, this is this is the Rajasuya sacrifice done by Yudhishthir Maharaj. And Yudhishthir Maharaj, usually Rajasuya sacrifice is meant to, it's a Karmakandya sacrifice meant to establish one's supremacy in this world. But here you see what Yudhishthir Maharaj says. Taddeva deva bhavatas charanaravinda sevanubhavamiha pashyatu loka erishaha ye tvam bhajanti na bhajantu tavo bhayesham nishtham pradarshaya vibho kuru srinjayanam. Therefore, O Lord of Lords, let the people of this world see the power of devotional service rendered to your lotus feet. Please show them, O Almighty One, the position of those Kurus and Srinjayas who worship you and the position of those who do not. And sure enough, in that great assembly, that was the outcome in the Rajasuya sacrifice. If you see in the Mahabharata Sabha Parva, the second book, the events that happened in that assembly, Shishupal was killed also. And the whole thing was, who is the greatest personality? Before, Agraja Puja is there. That means the greatest personality should be worshipped in that assembly. That was the real reason Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to do the Rajasuya. He wanted to establish, because he knew all kinds of devotees were there, rascals were there, doubtful people were there, meditative sages were there in different parts of the universe. He called all of them. And he established in the presence of everyone that Krishna is the Supreme. And Shishupala, in the beginning, was, glorifying Bhishma Dev. Oh, Bhishma Dev is the greatest person. But then Bhishma stood up and said, "No, I am not the greatest." He said, "Krishna is the greatest." And when Bhishma Dev was glorifying Krishna, Shishupal, who who voted for Bhishma Dev, he started rebuking Bhishma Dev. "You are old man, who you think you are so great?" He is the one who, proposed that Bhishma Dev should be the greatest. And he is saying, you are talking so much nonsense. Just because people respect you, you think you are so great and you can talk whatever you want. I think you have forgotten that you are an old man. You are thinking you are the greatest warrior, but we are all young, strong people here. We can kill you in a moment. Like that he was talking. This is the position of demons. They may worship someone, but given a chance, they will screw that same person. We have Bhasmasura, who prayed to Lord Shiva so devoutly. He wanted to cut off his own flesh for Lord Shiva. When he got the benediction, he wanted to cut off the flesh of Lord Shiva itself. Cut off his head. This is demons. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj knew all kinds of people were there and he wanted to establish. You see, now we have class, not many people will come. We organize some Rath Yatra, thousands of people will come. So some big function, people will come. So that's why for that reason Krishna makes big functions. Recently there was Vaikuntha Ekadashi. In Sri Sampradaya it's a big event. It's one of the biggest events of the year, apart from Brahmotsava and I think some few others. So Vaikuntha Ekadashi, people will start coming from 4 o'clock. Whole year they are sleeping. Once a year, I want to go to Vaikuntha. Suddenly so much bhakti came from where? And for what? They are not interested in Vishnu actually. Our reservation, we are reserving our place in Vaikuntha. We want to, I think in Singaporean language they call it chop. Chop? Who is Singaporean, they will know. If you are in the line, then if you want to suppose go toilet, you'll put one tissue paper there on the place where you stood and then go reserving your place basically. And come back and pick up the tissue paper and stand there again. So chop, this is called chop. So this is how they want to chop their place in Vaikuntha. So people will come by the thousands on that day. Actually, for me, I don't understand. When somebody is not so convinced about anything, why are they so convinced about coming on that day? I cannot comprehend. But anyway, people come. But then what is the what is the advantage? What is the advantage? So that on that day they may come in contact with some devotees. Like our devotees were there that day. And they bought calendars, they bought so many books. I think we sold about more than $2,500 worth of books only. Apart from other about $5,000 of calendars. One day. So that is the real benefit. Wherever there is excess of crowd, devotees should go there. So people are encouraged to go to pilgrimage because usually sadhus are there. Whole year they are there. So whenever previously there was no concept of vacation, going for some exotic, what is that? Bali. What is the other one? Everybody gets married there in Singapore. From Singapore they go and get Phuket. This is not. This is actually atheistic. What is it? Tourism. But real Vedic tourism is that whenever one has free time, okay, say 2 weeks break you want to take, because material life is anyway stressful. You need a break. So that break will be to pilgrimage. Like Vidura, he was intense. I mean, he was stressed so much with the family situation of Pandavas and Kauravas fighting. The Kauravas always scheming against the Pandavas. He was trying to advise, nobody was listening, insulted him. What to do in such situations? And he went. He went on a pilgrimage. And while the Pandavas and Kauravas were fighting, Vidura and Maitreya were having conversation. He had a sadhu sangha of Maitreya Muni. Actually, he wanted to take instructions from Uddhava. Uddhava said, I am very junior, who am I? Where Maitreya Muni is there. Actually, Uddhava was qualified himself also. But so Maitreya Muni went, and then so much was discussed between them. And that is all recorded in Bhagavatam. So Krishna is engineering all these things. He is engineering a war, and he is there in the war. While he is a devotee, who is a Mahajan. Vidura is actually Mahajan, Yamaraj. So he went, and he was having conversation. That is being recorded by Vyasadeva. He is making simultaneous arrangements everywhere. So in this way, the Lord establishes religious principles. So pilgrimage is recommended so that we go there and actually associate. But if we don't, we just go there and roam around and take bath in the river or some ghat or some lake or something, and then come out thinking that the water is the purifying factor of the whole pilgrimage. And what is salile? Tirtha buddhi salile. Tirtha buddhi salile means to consider the tirtha or the holy place as just the water there and not meeting any sadhus to learn something. And also another thing Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, that people think a holy place is some far away place. Nearby that is not holy. People go from Kolkata all the way to Gangotri. Or Ganga is flowing in their backyard at Kolkata. No. Gangotri, that is holy. Same Ganga, no? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, sadhu is a person who passed away. When he's alive, nobody cares for him. When passed away, that great sadhu, he said this, he did this. When he was doing that, where were you? Nobody cares. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a holy place is a faraway place. A sadhu is one who is passed away. Suddenly some miracle stories will come out of him, about him. When he is alive, nobody knows, nothing. Suddenly. And they will make many, many babas like this, out of nobody also. So we don't understand when everything is there with us, we don't take it seriously. Even sometimes Kṛṣṇa also does that. When one is in association of devotees and then one becomes lax, one becomes, offensive. Okay, you go out. Then once he goes out, then he realizes what he lost. It is said, what is that? There is a verse, I think in 10th canto, 87th chapter, the prayers of the personified Vedas. It is like a necklace one has worn, but he does not even know it is there. Sometimes it happens, we have our phone in our bag and we search everywhere for the phone. Like that. When we're wearing a necklace, and I'll search everywhere for the necklace because I cannot see. So, like that. We don't see the value unless it is far away. So the point is, when we get close, we have to be careful. Because familiarity breeds contempt. That does not mean, I should not become familiar. Yes, we should not be overly familiar, but it's not that, if I go closer to the temple, then I will commit offenses, so I'll stay far away and I will. That's not the thing. The main thing is we have to be near and at the same time rectify our faults. We may have faults, many aparadhas, so many things we may do. But we must rectify those things actively. So that is the real point. Because ultimately, when we are going to Vaikuntha, we will be with devotees in proximity. In proximity. So that time what? We have to get trained. Unless we are trained here, we cannot go there and we cannot do that. What is going on? What is that sound? Oh. So you see, big sacrifice, seemingly materialistic, but Harisevanukula. So our Nabhi, he was performing also a son, sacrifice for a son. Now Bhaktivinoda Thakur also had relationship with his wife, but he wanted to produce a child who is a preacher. That is completely different from ordinary sex life of man and woman in this world. To produce just children, have a family, and enjoy the family. That is completely different from uh, the sex life of a devotee. In fact, that is called brahmacharya. If one only is there in the grahastha ashram for increasing the number of devotees, that is not considered nari sangha or association with women. It's not. So coming back, here they are saying the Ritviks, the priests, they are saying all of life's goals, Purushartha Swarupasya. He is a personification, his identity. He uh, is the bestower of all Purushartha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Prema also. Prema Pumartho Mahan. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. What is the second line? Tadhama Vrindavanam. Then third line starts with Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan. Sri Chaitanya Matamidam Tatradarana Para. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhor Matamidam Tatradarana Para. Second line I forgot. Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu. Vraja? Yeah. Ramya Kachida. Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu. Vargena Ya Kalpita. So the devotional service of the gopis is the highest. The Krishna is the supreme worshipable Lord, and so is his abode, Vrindavan, which includes everything that is belonging to the Lord, the entourage, the paraphernalia, everything. And the method of the gopis is the highest. Bhagavatam is the greatest scripture. And Prema Pumartho Mahan. The Panchama Purushartha is Prema, love of Godhead, which is higher than Moksha. Moksha Laghuta Krit. Moksha is insignificant compared to Prema. So this is the philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the verse. It's basically a summarization of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy. So he is the Purushartha Swarupasya. He is the Purushartha Swarupa. He is the identity of all Purusharthas. He is to be worshipped. The goal of life is actually Nate Vidu Swarthagatim Hi Vishnu. So what is said? All of life's goals, Purushartha. Life's goals are actually called Purushartha. Purusha means of men, mankind. Artha means the goal. The goal of life are this Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Chatur Purusharthas are called. And Panchama Purushartha is love of God. All of life's goals and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently unceasingly and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. This is very nicely said. So if one is offering some sacrifice, even though it may be very huge, very extensive, but all those ingredients are sourced from the material world. Say we are offering lamp, cotton, ghee, or if you take a huge sacrifice, some navadhanya, there's some water, there's some turmeric, there is some firewood. Now mantras are chanted, which is sound. So seemingly, they are ingredients sourced from the material world. What to speak of the ingredients? He is the source of all ingredients. And not only that, all of Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Artha means wealth. All wealth is there in him self sufficiently, unceasingly, directly, and unlimitedly increasing. His unlimited wealth increases moment after moment. So, for such a person, what is he in need of? He's not in need of anything. Yeah. But then why he says yat karoshi yat ashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapassya kaunteya tat purushva madarpanam. Why he says? Sometimes he even begs, like Vamanadev. He came and begged. So he does this. Or he sends his devotee. So the devotee, he, always is doing service to the Lord. And he always wants to do service that is not possible for him. So that other people will come and make it possible. So that in that way, people will be engaged. If we only do service which is possible for us, then we're not engaging others. But if there is always beyond individual capacity, then yes, others will come. Others will be induced. Oh, he's doing something, let me help. As it, they're thinking they're helping that person, something. But actually they're helping themselves by doing it. So, indeed, your unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself. We are after material enjoyment. You do not need this sacrificial arrangement, but they are meant for us. So in the previous verse also, if you see, we have engaged in your worship with many things and have offered sacrifices unto you, but we think that there is no need for so many arrangements to please your Lordship. Now, it is not that we should, nothing, you don't need, okay, let us do simple. No, to the best of our capacity, we should always do. That is bhava. That is our bhava for the Lord. Bhavagrahi. Krishna is called Bhavagrahi, Janardhan. So he is he's seeing our mood, how much we want to do for Krishna. So he said Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam because, at least even if one is so poor that he cannot afford anything, leaf everybody can afford. You can just pluck. Tree is there standing giving you leaf, flowers, fruits. Here, take. Tree is there giving charity. So we can depend on that and then serve the Lord. So the Lord can be served in the poorest of conditions, but if we have means to serve, so that is explained. द्रव्यैः प्रसिद्धैर्मद्याग प्रतिमादिष्वमायिनः भक्तस्य च यथा लब्धैर्हृदि भावेन चैव हि. One should worship me in my deity forms by offering the most excellent paraphernalia. But a devotee completely freed from material desire may worship me with whatever he is able to obtain, and may even worship me within his heart with mental paraphernalia. This is called manasika puja. But this is only possible for devotees of the highest caliber. Like that South Indian Brahmana was mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, who was meditating on serving the Lord. So he was actually meditating on, like he was going to all the holy places and collecting all the waters of the rivers from 108 places, or I think 1008 places, something. So he was carrying them in golden pitchers, golden pots, and he was coming back and then doing Abhishek for the Lord and that. He was doing all this extensive puja in his mind because he was very poor, you know. But he was doing all these things, and then he was cooking varieties of things, and then in this day he was every day doing his puja. And then one day, as he was cooking, so many dishes he cooked. Then he cooked the sweet rice also, kheer. Then after he finished cooking, then he was going to check because kheer is usually offered cold, so it's nice. If it is hot, it is difficult to eat. So he wanted to check before offering the Lord. He wanted to check whether that kheer was hot or cold. So he put his finger in his thoughts. He put his finger in the kheer, and then his finger actually burnt. So then Narayan was, smiling. Lakshmiji asked, "What happened?" "I have to go down." Then he went down and picked him up and brought him back to Vaikuntha. So that is Manasik Puja. But we cannot do this kind of thing. We will do shortcut. Okay, finish. 1 second, our puja is finished. This is nonsense. So we are not in that mood. So we are not in that stage. So we have to do everything physically. Now this is deity worship. So, and not only deity worship in the deity room, but everything for the Lord. We have to actually engage in those services. Next. Snānālaṅkaranam preshtham arthāyāṁ eva tuddhava sthandile tattvavinyaso vahnavājyaplutam havih surye chabhyarhanam preshtham salile saliladibhih shraddhayopahritam preshtham bhaktena mamavaryapi. In worshipping the temple deity, my dear Uddhava, bathing and decoration are the most pleasing offerings. Abhishek and Shringar for the deity. For the deity traced on sacred ground, this is in form of mandal. The process of Tattvavinyasa is most dear. So while doing even the Vedhi for the yajna, so there also the mandalas are drawn, and Tattvavinyasa procedure is also there. Oblations of sesame and barley soaked in ghee are the preferred offering to the sacrificial fire, whereas worship consisting of upasthana and arghya is preferred for the sun. One should worship me in the form of water by offering water itself. Actually, whatever is offered to me with faith by my devotee, even if only a little water, is most dear to me. Then, भूर्यप्यभक्त अभक्तोपाहृतं नमे तोषाय कल्पते गंधो धूप सुमनसो दीपोन्नाद्यम च किं पुनः. Even very opulent presentations do not satisfy me if they are offered by non-devotees. But I am pleased by any insignificant offering made by my loving devotees, and I am certainly most pleased when nice presentations of fragrant oil, incense, flowers, and palatable foods are offered with love. So we have to offer nice things for Krishna. But those things cannot help us purchase Krishna. Because if today's verse is said that, the Lord doesn't need anything, right? This is also said in here, by Prahlad Maharaj. 7, 9, 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam. नैवात्मना प्रभुरयं निजलाभपूर्णो मानं जनादविदुषः करुणो वृणीते यद्यज्जनो भगवते विदधीत मानं तच्चात्मने प्रतिमुखस्य यथामुखश्री. Nijalabhapurna. Same thing as what today's different way it is said, but same thing. Nijalabhapurna. He is always self-sufficient and is complete, unlimitedly. But yat chatmane pratimukhasya yathamukhashri. Pratimukham means mirror. The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of God, is always fully satisfied in Himself. Therefore, when something is offered to Him, the offering by the Lord's mercy is for the benefit of the devotee, for the Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, if one's face is decorated, the reflection of one's face in a mirror is also seen to be decorated. So if we serve the Lord, then we will also be automatically served. So instead of dressing ourselves so nicely and impeccably, we have to dress the Lord. Hmm. In that way, our meditation becomes on the Lord. And then, when one is Krishna conscious, then one automatically becomes also decorated. That's why when Prabhupada was going about with his disciples, people used to say, even a Christian priest, he said, "Oh, your disciples are all very bright faced. How come they're bright faced? Devotees are bright faced. Because they're happy. They're also decorated. Because actually, in fact, some people ask them, Are you Americans? They were in America. So they were asking, Are you Americans? Because Prabhupada said the Americans never saw themselves so happy. They never saw another American very happy like this and very bright and full of life. They were all looking like dead ghosts. They have beautiful bodily features, but they are not Krishna conscious. So externally and internally they are dirty. So they don't look attractive. But when they especially become devotees, suddenly it's different. So um, anybody who becomes a devotee automatically becomes attractive. He doesn't need to do anything. You see, how come so many devotees got attracted by seeing Prabhupada? Usually an old man who will get attracted. But people were so attracted. So the offerings are not, the Lord does not oblige, oh, because he gave so much, so I will show myself. No. Or he did not, is not doing any devotional service. In the next verse, you see, today's verse is 538. 539, if you go, see the translation. Here it is said, O Lord of Lords, we are completely ignorant of the execution of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, the process of liberation, because we do not actually know the goal of life. You have appeared personally before us like a person soliciting worship, but actually you are present here just so we can see you. You have come out of your abundant and causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interest, and give us the benefit of your personal glory called apavarga, liberation. You have come, although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. So now, this is not very nicely expressed here. You have come, although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. We have not properly worshipped you, but still you have come. Whereas proper worship by non-devotees. But how can actually a non-devotee do proper worship? It's not possible. He may give opulent presentation, but his heart is fully, envious. So if he has other interests, Lord is not so pleased. However nicely it is done. So it does not mean that only when it is not nice, then it is devotion. This is another misconception. Like I told once, I think in the other class, there was one devotee. He cannot sing, so he cannot keep time in the kartal or clapping or. So he demanded that I will sing, because Krishna is Bhavagrahi is another. He is not accepting music and all these things. These are all Maya. The main thing is devotion. So his conclusion is, the implied conclusion is that those who can do it well, musically, for example, does not have devotion, but only those who don't have musical sense, he has devotion. That is also not true. It is bhava. So it is not whether materially palatable or not. It is the bhava. That is the main ingredient of any offering. So we in our present state do not have much bhava where we are. Anartha nivritti hasn't happened. We have first shraddha, adau shraddha, tato sadhu sangha, atha bhajana kriya, tato anartha nivritti. You know all these words what they mean? Simply some sounds. What is shraddha? You know these verses, first of all? These should be in memory. There's no excuse for devotees not having these verses in memory. I won't accept any answer that I don't have time and it's all nonsense. See, Ado Shraddha. First, there has to be faith. This is the progressive, this is the chronology of progress in a devotee's life. Yeah? But one can regress also if he does aparadha. Yeah? Ado Shraddha. First, there is faith. Tataha sadhu sangha. When he has little faith, then he associates with devotees. Okay, let me go there and learn something. Then atha bhajana kriya. This bhajana kriya means to engage in devotional service. That is when one takes initiation also. Karishye vachanam tava is the process, is the beginning of initiation. When he is in sadhu sangha, yes, the spiritual master gives knowledge. Yes, the devotees give knowledge. But when he surrenders, yes, I accept this and I want to act on this. That's when discipleship comes. That is bhajana kriya. Bhajan means not only bhajan sitting down and singing. Bhajan means to engage in devotional service. Tataha anartha nivrittihi syat. Then all the dirty things in the heart will slowly get cleansed and cleansed and cleansed. And proportionately, our Shraddha also becomes more and more solidified as our dirty things are cleansed. Then tato nishtha. Then we become fixed in devotional service and we cannot waver. Where is that boy? Here. See where? Tato nishtha. One is fixed up. One will not be flickering. Because it's currently our devotional service is very flickering. Sometimes enthusiastic, sometimes dull, sometimes dragging our feet. So this is unsteady. Nishtha means fixed up. Nobody can shake. It's not just on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, but a moment to moment basis. Then ruchistataha. Then there is a taste for devotional service. Vasudeva katha ruchi. Vasudeva katha ruchi means there is a taste for hearing about Krishna. Right now, we don't have taste. As long as we don't have taste, we'll make absolutely, exactly zero advancement. Our external symbols actually don't work. Just like who this Nabhi's priests are saying, all these opulent presentations, you don't need these things. So I may, in this world, bhajan karo, sadhan karo, murti jan le hoy. Bengali proverb. In my life, I may make a show of bhajan, sadhan. I may be doing many things, externally activities. Oh, I'm chanting, wearing like devotee, appearing like devotee. But all this will be tested at the time of death. I cannot cheat at that time. I can cheat others and say that I'm a devotee. There's a very beautiful song, I think, by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This is from Kalyana Kalpataru. Is that so? Yeah. He said, can you get my Brahman Vaishnava book? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, no. Yeah, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur quoted that as well. That if I think I'm a Vaishnava, just because of some external symbols that I have, then I will certainly fall down. This song is very nice, very instructive. And if I think I'm, my association is very, beneficial for others, this is the way of fall down. Only when I become, in fact, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, yeah, it is there. I forgot the first line. Kripa Karo Vaishnav Thakur. Let's take it out. Kripakaro Vaishnav Thakur. Let's see. This is from Kalyan Kalpataru. कृपाकरो वैष्णव ठाकुर संबंध जानिया भजते भजते अभिमान हाउ दूर अभिमान हाउ दूर आमी तो वैष्णव ए बुद्धि होइले अमानी ना होबो आमी अमान अमानी ना मान देना right not to expect any respect from others but giving others all respect if I think I'm a Vaishnav अमानी ना होबो आमी प्रतिष्ठाशा आसी हृदय दूषिबे হইব নিরয়গামী তোমার কিঙ্কর আপনে জানিব গুরু অভিমান ত্যজি তোমার উচ্ছিষ্ট পদ জল রেণু সদা নিষ্কপটে ভজি নিজ শ্রেষ্ঠ জনে উচ্ছিষ্টাদি দানে হবে অভিমান ভার তাই শিষ্য তব থাকিয়া সর্বদা না লইবে পূজাকার अमानी मानद হইলে কীর্তন অধিকার দিবে তুমি তোমার চরণে নিষ্কপটে আমি কান্দিয়া লুটিব ভূমি O Vaishnav Thakur, please give me your mercy, knowledge of my relationship with Bhagavan and the ability to do bhajan, sending my false ego far away. If I think I am a Vaishnav, then I will never become humble. My heart will become contaminated with the hope of receiving honor from others, and I will surely go to hell. Nirayagami. This is very important. This is why we have to study Vaishnava songs. This is why. Because the mood of a Vaishnava is there in these songs. How a Vaishnava should think, how a Vaishnava should live. These external signs all mean nothing. Give me the mercy that I can renounce the false conception of my being Guru and can be your servant. I am Guru. Let me accept without duplicity your remnants and your footbath water. By thinking that I am superior, Guru, and giving my remnants to others, I will bring about my destruction. Let me always identify as your disciple and not accept any worship or praise from others. In this way, I can renounce the desire for honor for myself and we can respect and can offer respect to others. Weeping sincerely at your lotus feet and rolling on the ground, I pray that you give me the ability to chant the holy name purely. So, this is what a Vaishnava is. The thinking of Vaishnava should be like this. Not that, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Nothing. So that's why even this, that's why Kṛṣṇa says, I don't care about all these opulent offerings. No, I want the bhav. Where is the bhav? So this is not only for non-devotee, even as a devotee. Sometimes, there was two devotees in Mumbai. Both were doing life membership, making life members for ISKCON. This was like in the 80s. So the one devotee got very envious with the other devotee. How he can be more than, how he can make more members than. Then, those days they were storing their contacts in books, like books. And then these devotee went and tore everything and then destroyed the other person's contacts. So that means what is in his mind, what is going on? He's not doing this for Kṛṣṇa. He's doing this for Abhiman. I want to be known by others. I want to be seen. And that will be our downfall. Not will be. That is already a symptom of a downfall. A person who has fallen down behaves like that. So the Kṛṣṇa is not coming because of our offerings. And when he comes, it is not because our offerings were sufficient now. No, he comes by his causeless mercy. So we can never buy Kṛṣṇa. Is it? Nayam Atma Pravachanena. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyo na medhaya na bahunashvatena yamevaisha vrunute tena labhas tasyaisha atma vivrunute tanam swam. The Supreme Lord is not obtained by expert explanations, by vast intelligence, or even by much hearing. He is obtained only by one whom he himself chooses. To such a person, he manifests his own form. What does this mean? Oh, even you hear so much, oh, Krishna will not come. He will only come to one who himself chooses. So I don't need to hear. Krishna will choose me. Really? You think so? Then why are we hearing? If even much hearing cannot get us Krishna, why are we hearing? Huh? Yeah, I mean, we have to be convinced. But Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, he will come. But he will never come if we don't engage in devotional service. If I'm not interested in hearing, that means what? I'm not interested in Krishna. If you're interested in someone, if you love someone, you always want to know more about that person. Right? That is natural. And if I do not want to know more about a person, that means I do not love him. There is no bhava there. Yeah? So, to such a person, he manifests his own form. If I want to hear, then yes, Krishna may be pleased, not that I have sufficiently pleased Krishna. No. Out of his causeless mercy, he comes, okay, he is trying something. Let me, benedict him. Let me encourage him. Sometimes he may even give tests. That's why if you see, there is no fixed time in by serving. Okay, if you do for 100 years, then Krishna will come. Or if you do 15 years, then Krishna will come. No, there is no such thing. For Dhruva Maharaj, he came in 6 months. For Khatvanga, he came in one moment. For Hiranyakashipu, hundreds of years he did tapasya to get Brahma. He did not get any Krishna. Tapasya was more than any devotee could do, or more than any devotee did. But Krishna was not satisfied. Of course, Krishna came and killed him. It's another thing. But he's not considered a devotee. Ambarish Maharaj, he did not do great tapasya like Durvasa Muni. But he got perfection. Durvasa Muni could not get that perfection. So what is the determining factor? Our seriousness. Even that is not the determining factor. We may be serious. But Krishna can choose not to. Gopis, who were more serious than gopis? Ramya Kachadupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Kalpita. They are the greatest devotees according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But when Krishna left to Mathura, he never came back for 100 years. So when will Krishna come? That is up to Krishna. And the more we think we have captured him, the more he will go away. We can never think that we have captured, now I am chanting very well. No, I should never think I have so many faults. I should always meditate on my faults. Not just saying it, but actually thinking like that. And there was one Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, in this same book, Brahmana and Vaishnava. There is a very nice definition of Brahmana. So who is Brahman? A Brahman is a servant of Vaishnava. That is Brahman. If he is servant of Vaishnava, then he is Brahman. Brahmana, you may say, Brahmana. No, Brahmana means all these qualities, Samodama, Tapasa. Yes, these are all the good qualities that a Vaishnava already has. And a person who serves such a Vaishnava with all the good qualities, he becomes Brahman. And that's how he also develops the good qualities. When he goes against the Vaishnava, then he goes down. What is that? Yaisham Purusham Sakshad Atma Prabhavam Ishwaram Nabhajanti Avajananti Thanad Bhrashta Patantyatha. Any members of the 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas who fail to worship the personality of Godhead, the source of their own creation, or who intentionally disrespect him or his devotee, will fall down from their position into a hellish state of life. Sada Nirayagami. So this anartha nivritti has to happen. These dirty things in the heart must be purified. And then nishtha. fixed of devotional service. Then ruchi, taste for engaging in devotional service. Must wash hand. Put in the mouth already, wash. Then asakti, attraction. Then bhava. Then prema. So these are the steps in the ascension of a devotee into devotional service. So we cannot be satisfied, we cannot be lax, saying that okay, I have come to a certain stage, okay, that's fine, I'm here. Not enough. When it is enough? When is it enough to serve Krishna? Nobody can sufficiently serve Krishna. That is the point of today's verse. You can never sufficiently serve Krishna. But we have to engage. Our endeavor should be every moment I should be serving Krishna. So how far am I? Actually, that is kalam nayed akhilam. This verse is very matter of instruction by Rupa Goswami. तन्नामरूपचरितादिसुकीर्तनानुस्मृत्योः क्रमेण रचना मनसि नियोज्य तिष्ठन् व्रजेतदनुरागि जनानुगामि कालं नयेदखिलमित्युपदेशसारम्. कालं नयेद akhilam. That is the definition. You see, kalam nayed akhilam. Full time is the definition of full time devotee. Time should be fully used in. Let's see what is meant. The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Vraja, Goloka Vrindavan Dham, and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. This is the definition of full time. I may say I am a full time devotee. Full time devotee means what? One's full time is used in Krishna's service. Only then he can be called full time. Not that I wore this cloth, now I am full time. How is one's time being used? That is the sign of full time. Real full time devotee. Kalam nayed akhilam ityupadeshasaram. So, external symbols just today many people will come. Okay, let me do something, so that devotees will see that I am a great devotee. Today I want to sing. I want to lead kirtan. Why? Because people are there. I want to show. So that is not it should be just constant. Why it should matter whether people are there or not? It should be the same. And it is not competition with anybody else. I have to see myself whether I am fully engaged in Krishna's service. That is where I need to get to. If I want to go to Vaikuntha is a place where there is no opportunity for any other activity than devotional service. So if we have to go there, then we have to come to the point of doing that. Otherwise, if we are dreaming that I am going to reach Vaikuntha after this life because I am a devotee, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. The vast majority will never make it there. Because we don't take it seriously. We are thinking, this is my last life. Few more years, chalo, bas, just a little bit, chant a little bit here and there, and I'll go back to Krishna. You think so? Krishna is so foolish that that he'll fall for our thing. No, he's not interested. Not at all interested in us. Anything we are doing, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, whoever chants less than 64 rounds is an animal. Okay? Animal. But Prabhupada's mercy, we are getting some chance to serve Krishna because he said 16, Krishna is accepting. Otherwise, we think we are some, let's see what Krishna said to to Nalakur and Manigriva. देवर्षिर्मे प्रियतमो यदिमो धनदात्मजो तत्तथा साधयिष्यामि यद्गीतं तं महात्मना. Although these two young men are the sons of the very rich Kuvera and I have nothing to do with them. This is our position, not that, these Nalagor and Manigura jokers. We are the joker. Hello. We are the joker. We are thinking we have something to do with Kṛṣṇa and Kṛṣṇa is so close to me. No, sorry. I have nothing to do with them. This is our position. Devarshi Narada is my very dear and affectionate devotee, and therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. Because Narada Muni said, please deliver them. I have to do. I am obeying Narada Muni. I don't care a fig for this. What is it? Nalakovar and Manigriva. That is our position. We have Kṛṣṇa has nothing to do with us. We are rotten souls. That is how we have to think. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what he said in that song, Asura Sakala, Pailo Charana, Vinoda Thakilo Bosi. We are saying, this Ravana is rascal, see what all he has done. Hiranyakashipu is another rascal. This who is there? Shukracharya, another rascal. This demon, another rascal. That demon, another rascal. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, yeah. But they have all attained Krishna's lotus feet already. I am still here. So who is the bigger rascal, that means? You are saying, oh, he is a demon. Who am I? Sadhu. So that's why we have to study Vaishnava songs. Asura Sakala Pailo Charana Vinoda Thakilo Bosi. I am here, still in the material world. They have all in the spiritual world. Putana, oh, big demoness, oh, she cheated, she wanted to kill Krishna. Yeah, she's there, serving him as a mother. Goloka Vrindavan. I am here, rotting. That is where we learn how to become. Always take inspiration from the devotees, but consider ourselves with the demons, equate ourselves. Let's like Prahlad Maharaj. He said, what he said? His father was killed. Then what did he say? Is it verse? Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya Namastejas Tejase Aviravirbhava Vajranakha Vajratamshra Karmashayan Randhaya Tamo Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Abhayamatmani Bhuyishtha Om Shraum. This is his prayer to Lord Narasimhadev. 5:18:8. Karmashayan Randhaya. He is saying, oh, please destroy my enemies, no. Please destroy all the demons. No. Please destroy the demoniac desires. See, I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Narasimhadev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possess nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material. Hiranyakashipu was a personification of fruitive activity in this material world. If we think that we are as good as Prahlad, oh, Narasimhadev will save me. Yes, of course, Narasimhadev will save his devotees. As much as we have faith in Narasimhadev. We can chant all the Narasimha Kavacha Stotram and all these things, but if we have no faith, and if my actions are not like a devotee, sorry. So kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. When death comes, all our prestige, all our fame, all our money, nothing is going to help. Why are we after them? You should consider logically. Where is the logic chasing these things? We should not be distracted by this. But we should always focus. So that is the prayer of devotee, to save him from falling down. And please keep me at your lotus feet. Keep me at your lotus feet means what? Always thinking of his lotus. Whether Krishna wants to take us back or not, that's why devotee doesn't even ask, oh, take me back to Vaikuntha. I'm a Janmani Ishvara. Bhavatat bhakti rahiti kirtan. So he doesn't even ask that. So even if I have to take birth, if that is your will, let it be so. But please, please don't keep me away from devotees. That is where our protection is, in the association of devotees. Temple is a place where the devotees are there. In fact, what is that? Madhya, 19151 or 152. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions temple life means, association of devotees means to engage in Shravan Kirtan. Not that in the nearby, I am 1 meter away from devotee, Prabhu, I am associating with devotees. See, I am 1 meter. But if I am not hearing, I am not associating. Association means take association, take some inspiration. I must also become. Always thinking of how to better ourselves. That is called introspective. If I absolutely don't care about, never mind, just I'll do whatever. No, I must be worrying. How can I increase? How can I increase? How can I increase my service? We're not doing this for anyone else. So that's the main thing. So devotee, that's today's verse. Basically, the priests, the Ritviks of Maharaj Nabhi, they are saying like that. All this does not actually. This is not for you. This is for our benefit. So we have to understand. If we do, then it's our benefit only. So any questions or comments on this topic?
Here the Ritviks are Brahmins or?
Yeah, Brahmins. Any other questions? Alright, we'll stop here then. Mantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi.